Chef Amanda, and welcome to my very first episode of SoulFull Creation's YouTube channel. This is a place for your soul to get filled, your body, your mind, and your spirit. And I'm here to share some of the gifts and talents that God has given me with you to hopefully help you enjoy life a little bit better. So today in this first episode, I really thought about what would help you understand who I am and what I'm bringing to you. And after we had a great discussion amongst my family, my husband, who's always full of amazing ideas, said, you know what, you grew up with Asian food. Why don't you do something along those lines? My daughter, she loves it when I make a good fried rice. I love making it because I can use up items that are in my fridge. So I don't feel bad throwing something away, but I find a use for it instead. So today I'm going to make for you a quick, delicious, and easy meal. The time that it does take is just the cutting of the vegetables and those items, but I'm going to show you just really how quick and easy it is, because you can put as much as you want in this dish or as little in this dish as possible. Most of all, it's full of so many nutrients, so many vitamins, tons of minerals that your body needs to stay healthy and stay strong so you can live the best life that God has for you today. So let's go ahead and get started. This is what I chose out of my fridge that I wanted to use up, things that I had on hand already. So basic fried rice always starts with garlic and ginger. So there's really not a wrong amount that you can have in this. They're good for you, great for cardiovascular health, have tons of medicinal properties as well. And I'm going to show you, especially ginger, sometimes people get a little weary about how do I work with this, what do I do? And I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to incorporate ginger into recipes. Some basics that can go into it. I have onion that we're going to cut up, some carrots. I love using rainbow carrots because it just adds a nice pop of color. Use a little bit of fresh lime juice just to jazz it up and make it more vibrant. Green onion, cilantro, these are going to be garnishes that we have. I have some cabbage. This was just a bag of already cut up slaw mix that, you know what, I know in a couple days I'm not going to be able to use it, so we're going to throw that in as well. And then meat. You don't always have to do a meat, but I had some brisket in the fridge that I want to chop up and use. So we're going to chop that up. You can always use bacon. This is great for any leftover chicken or pork that you might have, even a seafood that you can mix in. Other than that, we're going to use sesame oil. This is going to be a finishing oil. We have coconut aminos and tamari. So these are both kind of on the same lines as a soy sauce, but most commercial soy sauces are junk. And I usually use a virgin coconut oil to cook in. I love that coconut flavor, and I think it lends to this dish as well. So let's go ahead and get started. This part of the video, I brought in my most wonderful assistant, Layla. You might have seen her on some of our Facebook videos when we do Layla's Kitchen. She is so much fun in the kitchen. She loves to cook. And how can I not include this precious gift from God? So Layla today is just going to help us with some of our garnishes. So she's going to go ahead and squeeze the lime juice into the bowl, because this is just going to be a nice little zest and finish for us as well. While she's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and cut some of our garnish. So anytime you do a stir-fry dish, which essentially this is what it is, you want to have everything ready and prepped to go. What we like to call it in the culinary world is mise en place. That is the fancy French word for everything in its place. And it also helps cooking go accordingly, so you're not stopping and stumbling and having to run and get an ingredient you forgot. And this is how you simplify cooking. Have everything ready for yourself when you begin the task. So for a green onion garnish, we're just going to trim the tops of the green onion stalk. And keep in mind, adding a little angle to items really helps with the aesthetic of the final dish. So for example, a lot of people will cut green onion just kind of straight down. So what we're going to do is we're going to come at an angle. We call this cutting on the bias, and we want them thin and these long pieces. Anytime that you use green onion in cooking, you want to use, in the raw sense, the green part of this onion. This is going to be a great little zip of onion flavor to a dish. And right about there, when you get to this part of the stock, this is great. We're going to add it to the stir-fry dish. We're not going to have any waste. So you want to cook this part of the onion. You could probably go a little bit farther if you want, but we're gonna just chop this up. We're gonna cook this down in the dish as well. And pick those leaves. So cilantro, some people like it, some don't. Maybe you've heard people say it tastes like soap, so that's a hereditary gene that a certain percentage of the population has. I love it, grew up with it. My mom would throw it in everything. I think when I was younger, I really didn't enjoy it as much. And I'd be like, oh, what is this? But over the years, as my taste buds have changed, I really started to enjoy cilantro. Really, any fresh herbs helps brighten that dish and just elevates it slightly. So while Layla is picking that cilantro, I'm going to go ahead and get started on, let's do ginger. So ginger, delicious, amazing, great for your digestive health, especially if you are sick during the winter time, during the summertime, anytime. It is amazing for you, has a lot of medicinal value. So don't ever be frightened by ginger. If you're intimidated by it, let's get over it today. So I'm just going to cut off these little nubbies. You can always save this later for tea if you want. Trim this down, and we're going to peel off this outer skin. I'm going to show you with a peeler because you may not want to do it with the knife. So these are Y peelers. I really enjoy these for any type of peeling. You can get these on Amazon, super cheap. You can get a pack of 4, a pack of 6. They work really well. I don't like any other peelers, but we're just going to come through. We're going to peel off the skin of the ginger. All right, so your new best friend when it comes to ginger is this grater. Guess what? I got this at the Dollar Tree. It was $1. Now it's probably $1.25. This is great for ginger. We're going to get it really small. You really don't want to have a big chunk of ginger. It can be very strong. And of course, the last thing that I want you to do is be afraid of enjoying delicious ginger. All right, so I'm just going to take this. I'm going to put it over my bowl and grate it down. Ginger can be very fibrous, and sometimes you see those little hairs. They're not going to kill you. They just may not be the most palatable when you're trying to chew them down because they are so fibrous. Now we have our ginger beautifully grated in this bowl.
I'm done.
Fantastic. Thank you, Layla. That's beautiful. Garlic. How do I work with fresh garlic? I always like to chop off these little nubby ends that were part of the root. And then we're just going to take it, smash it on up. And what that does is it separates the garlic from the peel. So, you know, garlic in a recipe, 2 cloves, 3 cloves, again, really it's any amount that you want to enjoy. Garlic is great for you. I really don't think there's too much garlic. So we're just gonna rough chop this, mince it up. I'm gonna go ahead and get this onion and carrot chopped up, and we'll get cooking. Hello, so for this part of the video, I'm going to show you 3 different ways to rice cauliflower for our cauliflower fried rice. So first you want to take your head of cauliflower and cut it up into different florets pieces. So for this first one, I'm going to show you how to do it in a food processor. This is fitted with the grating attachment right there. And lock it all in place. Look, y'all need to like and subscribe my video because my little plunger piece got tore up in the garbage disposal, and I'm going to be using a chopstick to push cauliflower down. So let me get your likes and your subscriptions below, so eventually I can get some sponsors and hopefully get a new Cuisinart or whatever food processor they want to bestow upon me. All right, So we're gonna go ahead and take our cauliflower floret pieces. We're gonna turn this bad boy on and we're just gonna push them through. And this rices our cauliflower. Does help to have that little plunger piece so things won't fall out. So that's one way to get riced cauliflower. So our food processor is one way to do it. Our next way, in case you don't have a food processor, is a good old box grater and a bowl. So you simply just take your cauliflower and grate it through. Of course, it takes a little bit longer than the food processor, but you're going to end up with riced cauliflower as well. So at this point in my life, I've decided, and I guess so has the whole food industry, that riced cauliflower is a popular thing. So you can buy riced cauliflower as well. Got it at Costco. Comes in a pack. I think it's 4 1-pound bags for $7-8. So really, this is the way to go. And this is what we're going to be using today. So now the action begins, and we're going to start cooking our dish. We've got everything in place. We've talked about our vegetables. We've cut things down. We've grated our ginger. We've riced our cauliflower, and now we are ready to cook. So I'm going to use a wok. If you don't have a wok, that's perfectly okay. You can use a frying pan, saute pan, something though that has some sides to it, because we're going to be putting a lot of product into our vessel, and we want to be able to have space to move around and not fly everywhere out of the pan as well. So I have my pan on, and I'm just going to turn up the heat. So the definition of stir fry is cooking, high heat, moving things around really fast. So we want this nice and warm, and I'm going to start with my coconut oil and get this nice and hot in the pan. See, it's already starting to sizzle nicely. We have this beautiful wok my son got me for Christmas. I love using this. It's amazing. So we start with our aromatics. So we're going to start with our grated ginger and our garlic. We're going to add it to the pan. So it was satisfying to hear that sizzle. So really you just want to cook this until you start smelling the aromatics that it releases, that yummy smell of ginger and garlic. I'm going to add in my white part of the green onion. Remember, this is the part that we didn't want to necessarily use as garnish. We didn't want to waste it, so we're going to add it in to our wok here. Next, we're going to add in our diced onion. Our diced carrots. And this is where we really want to just see these vibrant colors. Now, keep in mind the way that we cut these items, we want stuff to be similar in size to our grains of rice or our grains of cauliflower. So we're not going to have long strips of carrots or long strips of onion in here as well. We want things that are going to be similar in size, again, to our grain. So the goal here is we don't want to make these vegetables soft and soggy. We still want a little bit of crispness, but we don't want to necessarily have it raw as well. So we're letting that cook. Spread that around a little. All right, next we're going to go ahead and put in our diced brisket. So again, you can use chicken, you can use pork. You have shrimp you want to add as well. So it is already cooked. We just want to get some heat back into it. Now I'm going to add in my cabbage. All right, we're going to let this cook down a little bit, a couple of minutes. So we've got this nice cook down. Really at this point, if you're tired, you're ready to eat, you got a nice little stir fry going and you can season it up. But of course, we're going to move forward and we're going to add in our cauliflower rice. Full of potassium, full of vitamin C. Just look how colorful this dish is. It's really quite lovely. So we want to stir it around, evenly coating this. Nice as the cauliflower, it is such small pieces, it doesn't require a very long cooking time at all. And now that we've had this cooked down a little bit, we've coated the rice in the oil, we have this really mixed and stirred together. As you can see, again, tons of vibrant colors. This is the fun part. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add a little salt to it. Always gotta season your food. A little bit of pepper as well. So we're gonna add in our tamari. Again, this is a gluten-free soy sauce. It's not made really with all the junk. So we're gonna do that around. We wanna coat our rice in it. This is what gives fried rice its delicious flavor. We're also adding up our coconut aminos. So coconut aminos are just a little bit sweeter than soy sauce and just a really healthy alternative to using a commercial processed soy sauce. I'll pour in a little bit of our lime juice for a little zip of flavor. And then sesame oil. So sesame oil is an oil that you never want to cook with. It's a finishing oil because it's that beautiful sesame flavor and you don't need a lot of it. A little goes a long way. So this is probably about a tablespoon or so, a little less, probably about 2 teaspoons. You know, and a really good way to know, I guess, if you've cooked it is just smelling all of those flavors combined together. Delicious. So we're going to stir in a little bit of green onion. I'm going to save some for garnishing the plate. Stir in some of our cilantro leaves as well. Again, another layer of flavor. So one thing with cooking is it's all about layering your food. And that's where you get a really amazing dish where you close your eyes and you just taste it because you're layering flavor upon flavor. You're building that complexity. Kind of like the human soul, huh? A little bit complex. And there you have it. That is our cauliflower dish. Beautiful, full of color. And let's go ahead and plate it on up. So we're going to swoop on around to this side here. Make it as pretty as you want. Put it on your plate. Ready to go. You know what I really like about this dish is because it's the cauliflower, I know it's lower carb, I know it's lower calorie, I'm eating a lot of vegetables. And there is protein in vegetables. I have also the protein, of course, in the brisket. So if you will, it's almost like a food that if you just really want that comfort, at least for me, this is one of my comfort foods. I know if I want to eat a little bit more than I probably should, I can because it tastes so good and I don't have to feel bad about it in my body the next day. Not that we should ever feel bad about food when we're eating it, but it's just one of those dishes that makes your soul a little happy. All right, so whoops, got this here. Put a little bit of these fresh greens, some cilantro, finish. And of course you can top this with a fried egg, which is one of Layla's favorites, to have a fried egg on her rice. Again, you're adding that extra protein. Here we are, our fried rice. We're going to give this a try. Let's see if we hit the mark. The flavors, you still have a crisp to the vegetables without them being raw. You get ginger, you get garlic, you get sesame. And just the way that the saltiness dances on my tongue, this is definitely a crowd pleaser here in my house. Hopefully you're going to take time, make this dish. Hopefully you're going to leave a comment. Let me know if you tried it. Let me know what you thought about it or not. But please do share this video with your friends. Let them know that SoulFull Creations is a new upcoming YouTube channel that's going to be full of healthy videos, words of wisdom, and a lot of love coming your way. Thank you so much.